company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. And let me explain something to you about a fellow by the name of Crow, Jamie, I don't know, whatever he calls himself. You are the last person who needs to be having a conversation with me about ambient light rejection technology. Because I think I proved on just about every level whatsoever on my technology working in fully lit environments. I have technology that can take a direct hit from the sun. I have technology that I've done 180-inch screens outside. I've done 150-inch screens in my driveway. I've done, as a matter of fact, it's a screen challenge going out there on Google called the Ultimate Challenge, 1100 Challenge, which we gave to you, which you never completed. So don't go in talking about ambient light rejection technology. You spend all your time doing your demonstrations in the dark, overpriced projectors, and there is no way in the world on God's green earth, on all the demonstrations I have completed in my lifetime, that you would even come close to what ambient light rejection technology should even look like. You don't do it. You spend most of your time in the dark. And at that, I test these screens on certified projection screens. As a matter of fact, one of the tests these screens have to go through before they can earn a label is they have to sit back 13 feet to be able to produce an image. I've never seen you do any of those demonstrations whatsoever at all. My blue Epic Blue screen sits outside in a fully lit environment surrounded by window lights. Your screen sits up against a window, blocking as much light as possible in a dim environment. Majority of most of your videos are done in the dark. You can't even pull a simple contrast demonstration like a star field. I can go into my Japanese tea room, open up my curtains, and I can watch outer space movies or any contrast demonstration in that room with direct window light hitting that screen. And my projector in that room cost me $180. It's used off eBay, refurbished, and only at that, even at that, it's a discontinued model. Matter of fact, I'm about to be buying another one. I got one in my kitchen, which under the 21s, if you want to talk about technology having ambient light rejection and same gain, we had the 21s. 21s on their first day at 1% were able to produce images outside with no problem whatsoever. Never seen you complete anything like that. So, since you want to talk about ambient light rejection technology and what it should look like, well, you're going to have challenges all this week. And guess what, buddy boy? Now you're going outside with a Black Nova. Going outside with a Black Nova because all those tests and demonstrations we're going to be doing outside will involve inflatable screens and whatever. And now we're just going to basically put your samples out there to see what is better for real ambient light rejection technology. The ambient light rejection technology that we develop, or Crow's product, or any other white screen out there, which we'll be doing some demonstrations again. And like I said, this particular fellow must have some kind of amnesia or short-term memory, because I do so many ambient light rejection demonstrations with lights on that I have people sometimes in my comment section will ask me to turn the lights out. Literally shout at me to turn the lights out. That's how many demonstrations I do with the lights on. So you're talking about my technology fades and washes out with the lights on. Like I say, I think you got a short-term memory going on in there. Something is wrong. I really do. I think it's the equivalence of putting a penny in the can and shaking it. Because you're going to come at me on my screen's fading in fully lit environments. Your screen couldn't even push an image that will produce proper color. We've already proven that. And we've already proven that the product that you make is basically Home Depot or Lowe's primer, because it matched the product that we made over here to do demonstrations outside, because we try to avoid using your product and spare you some dignity by not taking you outside against that Black Nova and for those demonstrations. And you made claim on a product that was actually something that we made at Home Depot and Lowe's, which was great primer, which matched your product perfectly. So don't go down that road of talking about art technology and ambient light projection, because I'll do a demonstration today on that black Nova outside. I'll take your product out there and I'll do a color change up out there on that screen, and we'll see what screen pulls an image outside. And as you can see, I'm right now going through my PS4 selection with light cascading through. But I think he has a bit of a short-term memory. Of all people, you would have come at me about ambient light projection, please. Please. You're the last person that needs to be coming against me on ambient light projection. You don't even know the beginning on how it even works. I don't know how you could. You spent all your time in the dark. So I don't know how in the world you would even know what ambient light projection is. You're constantly talking about how we don't use it. You don't bother with it. Let's go over here real quick. Give you something to think about. Oh my goodness, I have so many demonstrations. So many demonstrations on fully lit demonstrations. So many of them. See how that works, Crow? Don't criticize technology. Number one, you don't understand. And number two, like I said, and you're criticizing my work when you're doing it in a dark environment because you couldn't dare turn the lights on because your screen would wash out. I've done this demonstration on this screen with 2800 lumens, 1000 lumens. I've done so many demonstrations on different screens throughout the entire house. It's not even funny. I had test demonstrations of me pulling projectors back 22 feet with a 130-watt lamp in the middle. Screen in the next room was able to take on a 1000 lumens projector sitting on a ledge with sunlight hitting it, still making it through the window, traveling 13 feet, contacting the screen with 130 and producing an image. You really shouldn't talk about ambient light rejection. You don't understand what it is, and it's something that you shouldn't really be bothered with because you don't really deal with that kind of technology. You just don't. And this isn't a 100-inch screen, this is a 135-inch screen. I have screens throughout my entire house. As a matter of fact, my stuff is so good at the fact that I don't have TVs in here. We got TV for computer monitors, and that's pretty much it. And I have a monitor right here that's set up for my mapping, my programming and mapping. When I do my projection mapping. Any of the screens we use in here for entertainment, they're all projection screens. Which means in order for me to be able to use this throughout my entire environment, that means my area has to be well lit. And if you look at my house, it is very well lit. I have a 126-inch screen that sits in a bay of windows downstairs on a $60 projector. All my projectors combined would be still cheaper than your projector and still perform better than your projector because you can't use yours in a fully lit environment. Let it alone, you have to pick and choose what you can use in your environment because, like I said, you can't do dark contrast demonstrations because your screen would wash out and fade. You can't see contrast, you can't see color on your product. It's 135. Here. Gotcha. I'm gonna go make myself a hot cup of tea. Check that out. Funny dude. Funny dude. Yeah, any day. Well, I love how you basically will try to pick out, he'll try to pick out anything, slow down something, try to pick it up, say, look, his technology doesn't work in the fully lit environment. You've got to be, I'm not trying to be rude here, but you got to be extremely stupid. Because anyone knows me, what I'm known for is producing screens in very well lit environments. Everybody knows that's the kind of person, that's what I do. I work on, I have my technologies, ambient light projection. And if you notice, when I talk about my technology, from corner to corner, you're supposed to be to show that image. I could do this outside with no problem. By the way, don't forget the screen's purple, and it can produce color better than your screen. I gotta use this for a demonstration later on today. And this is what I mean by sad. Individuals who have nothing better to do than to try to pick at every little thing that somebody does. That's sad. So I can come in here with my projector, turn on my screen in a fully lit environment, and still produce a beautiful image on a projector that cost me $560, not $4,000. And you sit in the dark with a $4,000 projector. All right, let's come out of here. Let's go into my junky environment. It's going to be quite junky because I just got up. This is how junky my environment looks when I get up in the morning. Let me show you some Crow how it's done. Here's your challenge for the day. This is an ultra short throw projector. It cost me $180. I'm going to go behind me. I'm going to open up my curtains. I'm going to let all this light cascade into the room, as I always do. When I get up in the morning, I like to enjoy a hot cup of tea. I like to stare at my window. So your challenge is to pull a starfield demonstration in a fully lit environment. And that right there, and by all means, is no P1 or P2 or one of those Dell expensive 4K projectors. That's it. That's a $180 projector. As a matter of fact, I bought another one. I bought a $175 projector. Same model. I like that particular model. All right, so I'm going to do something that you don't do in your demonstrations. I'm going to walk over here to my curtains. This is food I was eating last night. I tell you, my room is so messy at nighttime. And we are going to open up my curtains. Oh, they're having a golf game. They golf regardless. It could be raining. It could be snow flurries. They will be out there golfing. That's a love for the game. There we are. See how I can see outside my window right there with no problem. There's my screen right there. That's a Signature 17. 120 inches sold out. Yeah, 120 inches are sold out. They're on back order until May the 6th. Sorry about that, but there's nothing really we can do about that. They're just sold out. The only ones we have left are the 100 inches. Oh, this is already in. Let me go grab myself a remote control. If I didn't bury it under the tons of stuff I have here all over my bed. Here we go. There we are. Let's go over to YouTube. And let's pull up Starfield demonstration. If she doesn't butcher it.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, she didn't butcher it. There we go.
Tough This Smart makes you look.
We can leave the commercials on, let them run.
The all-new 2020.
So every morning when I get up, get myself a hot cup of tea, and I can sit back and I can watch my TV shows, cartoons, whatever I want, fully lit environment on $180 projector that I got over from eBay that's used. Works perfectly on my technology. You can't do this. You don't want to get into a challenge match over ambient light projection technology. You don't want to get into a challenge match over faded screens. When I say our product is faded, you can't pull a star field demonstration. Your product can't pull color. It doesn't pull up at all because it's house paint. There's no technology behind it. It's just basic house paint. And keep in mind that we have to test our screens against certified screens, but I'll show you. I'll give you an enlightenment. I'm going to go down that road. You show me. I try to avoid these things. You should never ever be bringing up how a product fades in a fully lit environment. This is your personal mix right here on my black screen signature. And since you felt the need to go after the gold screen downstairs, I'll put you against that one too. See which screen pulls up better color. As a matter of fact, I'll do that on a 1,000 lumen projector. We can forget the 1200 lumen projector. I will bring downstairs my 1,000 lumen projector and we'll do the demonstration of that to show that your screen can't pull color on a 1,000 lumen projector. It cost me $75. Here's your Metallica mix right there. It's ultra short throw projector. Doesn't even have a 1,000,000 to 1 contrast, not even 2,000,000 to 1 contrast, not even close. Yep, I can pull a Starfield demonstration in a fully lit environment with no problem. Color blue. You don't learn. It's like you got amnesia or something. Like we've been through this already. I did this on a Chrissy projector of 4,300 lumens and pushed it right up on top of the screen. You don't learn anything. There's your product. Or my technology, and my technology is pulling up a blue surface. And next week he'll figure out something else that he'll forget and bring it up all over again. And it literally, I think you really ought to get an MRI.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar. Get more out of zero.
This is the reason why you do your demonstrations in the dark, because your product cannot pull up proper colors. And if it can't pull up proper colors, that means then you have to sit in the dark where your colors have a better chance of popping. That's why you sit in the dark. This is why you rely on heavily powerful projectors, because projectors doing all the work, not the screen. Here I am with my cheap $180 projector, and I'm producing a better image than you. Red screen.
Audible lets
Yeah, she's not gonna give me that. She always fights me on the red. I don't know what it is. See if we can get. There we go. We got the red right there. See what I mean? Colors fade automatically. Anytime lights come on, your colors fade like crazy. Because you have to be sitting in the dark. That's why. That's the only reason why. You know, common sense is people know their colors. I know people do know their colors. Then anytime you have a lighter screen, it's always going to pull a higher white level. But like I said, and your claims that our screens were supposed to be so dark you can't even see them, You know, the colors is discolorated. You can't see the color where you put it, you know. Well, let's see if your screens make my screen so dark that you can't see them when it comes to white levels. Sorry about that, people. Let's go over to LG snowboarding. I do these all the time. If I have to do these against certified screens, then why would I even fear doing it against your screen? And anywhere your screen turns tan, that means it's not picking up a color or it's not picking up contrast. You can pick up a white level, yeah. But in certain areas, when you see when it comes up in tan, you're not picking up something correctly. I'm gonna go make myself a hot cup of tea. I just find it hilarious through all the demonstrations I have done down through time. And all my test demonstrations are all done in fully lit environments. That you're gonna come at me talking about, oh, his product fades. Okay. That's interesting. So tomorrow morning when you get up, I'm expecting to see a Starfield demonstration because I can show you white levels, no problem. Let's go with 4K snow screensavers. There you go. I'm gonna have a cup of tea with that. I'm not doing too well. I'm gonna clean up my mess back here. There's modern There you go. And I've said this many times before, anytime you're dealing with black screen white levels are going to be a tad low. But nothing that's going to disrupt your picture quality or your image is going to come out so dark you can't see it. Put this over here. So you can see I can show my white levels. No problem. Sony 4K demonstration. This is where you have your problem at. Can't see red at all. if you even tried to use half the light, well, the light that I actually use in my environment on your day-to-day videos, your screen wouldn't pull up. This is what would happen if you try to use the same amount of light that I'm using in my environment right now, how your screen would react. I'm gonna let that play. Get my tea to put right here. Oh yeah, one of them are up here.
Electrical charges live at the heart of every hybrid. Only a few truly move us. Experience the hybrid line that's electrified the world.
Can't even pull a commercial correctly.
With a
It's a commercial. You definitely can't pull contrast. Not pulling up color. So every morning I get up, make my hot cup of tea. That's what I do. It's my ritual. I don't have to explain much. See it for yourself. You don't know anything when it comes to ambient light rejection because I said before at the end of the day, your product is house paint. Doesn't show anything different. Nothing at all. I got a gray screen downstairs that's better than your screen. And it can pull color and contrast. That's hot. I'm gonna finish making my bed. You want to talk about the correct way of ambient light rejection. Can't even use your screen in a fully lit environment. You've got it. That's what I say. It's sad, but when people make comments like that, you don't even know what ambient light rejection is. Being in an ambient light controlled environment is not ambient light projection technology. It's not. And we didn't need a $3,000 or $4,000 projector to do it. Okay, that's 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
And that whole theory that you keep starting about how black screens are so dark that you can't see them. Well, there's my screen sitting up against your product, and your product is 4 times lighter than my screen. And I can produce an image in a fully lit environment where people can see the screen crystal clear with no problem at all. Right next to your very, 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 very light house color house paints. And the reason why I'm calling it house paint is because I already did the demonstration where we took our light gray screen paint, which we make called the ultralight gray. We put that against house paint, and the ultralight gray was able to produce better contrast, color, with no problem. We put your product against it, it matches it. But you forgot about that one. Told you, anything you try to pick, I put the time in, the work, the faith into my technology. I get up every morning and I work hard at what I do. I don't cut corners. I put my screens through some of the rigorous, most hardest testing I could possibly think of. And you cut corners and you want to challenge this technology every single time by making these false accusations that we can't produce an image in a fully lit environment. This is what we do. Now, apparently, you don't listen well enough, and you don't. As I said before, we make lighter gray screen paints, but they're not going to be able to take on ambient light more advanced than darker screens. Darker screens are always going to be able to have a better vantage point over lighter screens. That's just basic common sense. But to make a statement that screens don't show up in a fully lit environment, I can't even pull contrast or color correctly. Here, let's go over here real quick. Let's go over to, let me see. Let's see if we can get another. Here we go. All my lights are on. Windows are open. Any lights pushing through. And my screen can display contrast. So we can display color. We can display white levels. And we can display contrast. Which your screens can display a white level, but they can't produce color. And they can't produce contrast. Will just come up faded because you can't see color. I think I made myself the most perfect cup of tea. And this room, I think this room and the other room takes on the most light. Now, if you want to talk about dark demonstrations with the lights out, I can put your screen in a dark environment or technology, and you won't like the outcome. because the screens cannot produce your screens even in the dark. This screen can produce an image this well in a fully lit environment. Do you know what these things look like with lights out? Take it, and like I said, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but you don't want to go toe to toe with one of these screens in a dark environment. But we'll do that today. We'll do it tonight. I'll put you against the purple. This is why I explain to people who do demonstrations such as this individual and big companies too also, they rely on these high-powered, expensive projectors, poorly lit environments. And when you spend most of your time holding your screen's hands because you want to have it in a comfortable, ambient light controlled environment, well, when we stick you over here, what we do every day on our cheap old projectors, because we're not using no expensive projectors over here, so guess what? Your screen got to work over here. You know, high-powered, expensive projectors over here. The screen got to work. We don't come over here and close our blinds. Windows are fully light. All this light's pushing in. Fully lit environment. Your screen's got to work over here. They got to work. And if they've been cuddled in a comfortable environment, we will see it when it gets here. And this is how your stuff is reacting to ours. So what does this tell customers? It tells customers at the end of the day when they watch your demonstrations, they're going to have to go out and spend money for an expensive projector in order to get your image. They're going to have their screen in a poorly lit environment in order to be able to pull up their colors correctly, or they're going to have to calibrate your projector, which you have told your customers multiple times that they would have to calibrate their projectors in order to get their color to come up right, because the screen can't produce color. And any screen that can't produce color is not going to have, it's going to have a serious problem producing contrast. Yeah, you're going to produce white levels. Any light gray screen, and that's no, I don't know why he acts like it's something new, like no one knew about it. I mean, please, come on. Like I said, we test constantly on certified projection screens. I got all kinds of light gray, silver, and white gray screens in my category. This is basic common sense. I have screens that are certified that are darker. They're going to pull up lower white levels next to screens that are certified that have higher white levels. It's just a back and forth kind of thing. That's nothing new. What you're explaining to people is nothing new. The thing is, the fact that what people need to get a grasp on is the fact that your stuff doesn't work, and it doesn't. I'm sorry, but in all your demonstrations and every last one I've watched, you have not once done any demonstration that we have done. Like I said, we still have that challenge that we gave you back in 2019 called the 1100 lumen challenge, where I take a screen outside with 1100 lumens at 12 feet back and I produce an image outside. Never been challenged. As a matter of fact, we didn't just challenge you, we challenged everybody. Black Diamond, Green, and everybody. It's never been matched. Now, if you noticed, I can go back and forth on this. I can choose high bright levels on our black screen, which I'm doing now, or I can just switch over to contrast. Either way, wherever we jump at, our screens are going to be able to produce that image. You can't pull color. Can't see contrast. Pull white level, yeah, you can. Any gray screen is going to pull white level. And this is an 80-inch screen. If I had this painted with your product, I'd be a sad, sad person. I really would. Because your screen would wash out. This is why you're constantly telling people that 720p projectors are outdated. Yeah, it's the same thing the big companies do. They do the same thing too. They tell people, yeah, you don't want to go near that projector. You want to push people to buy the more expensive projectors. You don't need all that crap. You don't need overpriced projectors. You don't need it. It's like you don't need to be calibrating. Some guy was there arguing about calibrating the a long time ago, calibrating the projector. Oh, you got to calibrate. You got to calibrate. No, you don't. No, you don't. The screen can't see color. That's what the problem is. And every time I would ask them, well, show me the demonstration and post a link below. I never got a link. Not once. Ever got a link. Because they were using your product. Your colors don't come up correctly. Let's go over into, let me see.
Our propellants provide proven mosquito protection.
Oh, mosquitoes, I hate mosquitoes. Well, can't pronounce the word right, but I still don't like them. First cup of tea out all day. Well, actually, first cup of tea today. See how red cranberries come up? See how they wash out on your screen? You can't see color, that's why. That's why you're constantly telling people to calibrate. Same thing the big companies do. They say the same thing. You got to calibrate your projector. I suspect am I spending $4,000 for a projector and you want me to calibrate it? This is what you call ambient light rejection, Crow. This is how it's done. It's not done sitting in the dark with your blinds half shut and you choose and get little lights peppered out through your environment where you pick and choose where you want light to go at. It's in an uncontrolled environment. This is why when the last test for any of these screens that they have to go through, as they have to sit outside at 1,000 lumens, 13 feet back, and they have to be to produce an image. You don't run tests like that on your technology. Oh, I can't call it technology. I call it house paint. You don't run tests like that. You don't. You don't do any of the tests that we do over here. If you did, your screen would be able to keep up with ours, and it's not doing too well. And this is on a $180 projector, which tells me at the end of the day, you really don't have to spend, well, your projector's doing all the work. That's what it says. Because if my screen looks this good on a $180 projector, what the heck do you think it'll look like on a $4,000 projector? There you go. Now you see how it works. See how no color. You can't pick color up. So last thing you have to learn today. Don't challenge our technology again. Don't ever come to me about ambient light rejection. I've done so many ambient light rejections. I can literally choke a group of race horses. I can't say one horse because every demonstration I do is in a fully lit environment. And I don't talk about the whole, well, you know, screen doesn't pull up a proper white level. First things first, your product is not a certified product, and neither is mine, but mine is way better than yours because, like I said, I can back it up. Number two, anytime I show off any form of certified screens, the majority of the screens that are actually sitting against my screen are lighter. The first thing I display is the white levels. That's the first thing I show off. Then I show off the different solid colors so customers can see exactly which screen is pulling up the proper reds, blues, and greens, and which ones are fading. You don't do those demonstrations. And you stay far away from contrast demonstrations. If you do contrast demonstrations, you do them in the dark because your screen has a better chance of pulling up an image or contrast image in the dark than it does the lights on. I'm having a cup of tea right now. So that's why I said that when you do a contrast demonstration, it has to be done in a fully lit environment. Now, if you want, I could buy an inflatable screen. I can paint you to half of that giant thing and stick you outside with a black Nova. We do a demonstration off of that thing. But then again, we don't have enough of your product to paint that. So what I could do is just go down and make our own homemade version of our paint that we made for the demonstrations that we had planned to do. Because we were trying to, in the last demonstration, which I think you got a little upset over that, but like I said, you kind of should have mind your own business. And I told you in that demonstration, this is a product that we made in order to not do your product anymore. Giving you a break. And that's what I was doing. but you felt the need to come in and make some comment about, look, you did your own review, so and so and so. I was able to come in here and show you the difference and why my product pulls up a better image, better color, the whole 9 yards, as we're displaying here. But not only that, take your product and match it against a product that we made downstairs out of primer and house paint, which blended perfectly. And then took the same mixture and stuck it against my ultra light gray screens, which it didn't even match. If you care to see that demonstration, I'll post that link below so you can check it out for yourself on our ultra light gray screen paint versus his product and versus everyday primer, and see which one matches. Man, and he'll forget this. He'll forget this, and he'll come up with some other idea, and he'll say, "Oh, I got him. I got him this time. I got him." Really, seriously. And like I said, you see, I'm not taking any time or effort into this. I'm sitting back here drinking me a cup of hot tea and just explaining this over and over again to you because it doesn't click. Let's go with let me see. I want to do it 4K. Let's go up here. See how you don't even pop up on the menu. This is a Fire Stick right here. You're not even popping up with the contrast levels on the Fire Stick. New York City, nighttime, screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I could go for some baked fish and some biscuits. It'd be real nice. See, I can pull up the brights, I can pull up the whites, and I can pull contrast. You can pull up white levels, but you can't see contrast, you can't see color. So if I had that screen, your product painted on my 80-inch in here, on my $180 NEC projector, that's what I'd be getting. But I'm pretty sure you give your customers a list of instructions on how they have to go about using the product. I'm pretty sure you tell them that they have to use it in an ambient light controlled environment because your product is not an ambient light rejection screen paint. There's your loophole right there. But yet you want to challenge ambient light rejection screens all the time. Sorry about the messy environment, people. All right, we're going to cut this short for you. I got things to do today. I don't have time to keep reminding you how things work. Because for some reason you just don't know how they work. And I don't have the time to keep educating you on how it's supposed to work. You don't put the time into your product. You this mixture of black and white paint. And for him to say, oh, it's not, well, you know, hey, entertain us. I mean, the video you deleted that you didn't want anybody to see, because it was a video of you showing people how to make this black and white paint, which was the Metallica mix, which now no longer sits on your YouTube account. And now, I don't see you making that product and putting it against your product to see how close it comes up. See, if I take, which I did, the 21s, which I did, I took the black screen, put that against the silver screen, two different screens. But but your product all looks the same. Now we got the lights out. This is usually how he would do his demonstration. Of course, we got too much light coming through our windows because my curtains are very light and a lot of light pushes through them. So we got it a little dark in here. This is not the darkness that you're used to. Your darkness is much darker than that because my curtains are pushing in too much light. So we got a little darker in here for you. This is how you're going to have it. If I had your product, I wouldn't be able to stare out my window and look at my pretty birds. I would have to have my curtains closed and have to be sitting here in the dark. And you'd probably have little lights peppered out through the environment. Let's see if there's any change. No, there is no change at all. Heck, for the price you just paid for your projector, I could literally furnish my house. Oh wait, I did. With nothing but projectors. And they all can be used in a fully lit environment, which you can't do on your one projector that costs you $3 to $4 grand. Color blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. Can't even see blue. Let's change some colors up. See if you can pick up any colors at all. There you go. There's your excuse for why you tell your customers, calibrate your projector. How in the world are you going to even think about talking about ambient light rejection technology if you can't pull up proper color? Let me see. I need to get all this stuff sorted. I'll put you guys over here because I got to get this stuff sorted out real quick. Let's go over to like I said, it's interesting. We're in the dark now. Well, somewhat in the dark. I wouldn't really consider this to be dark because, as I said before, we still have light pushing in. Orange screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Alright, so let's pull up an orange screen. Just not doing well in here. We even got in mind you. I'll put you in a darker environment if that's what you want. And your screen's still gonna sit here and struggle. You're not gonna pull up any of these at all, period. Let me see. Philips, 4K color.
Getting that from YouTube.
Sorry about that. go back to that one real quick. But I mean, when the blue doesn't come up correctly. And like I said, cheap projector, $180, that's it. I'm gonna finish cleaning up my area. Never bring up about faded and washed out screens. When your screens can't pick up color, they can't pick up contrast at all. Sony 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Right back over to the reds again. This time we're in a darker environment. Contrast level is supposed to be there. Now we got the blind shut behind us. We got our curtain shut. Got our lights out. Somewhat a little dark in here. And you're still not picking up your colors correctly. And just in case if you try to argue by saying, nope, my colors are coming up brighter. No, they're coming up washed out. That's the problem. So the brighter color is the washed out color. And if you want to, so my dirty projector, there's the name of my projector right there. Like I said, it cost my customers $180 for that projector. That's it. And I'll put at the bottom the 1100 challenge. That was never met. As a matter of fact, you've never matched any of our outdoor demonstrations at that. We're not even in a fully lit environment. Your screen still can't show. All right. You don't want to go with this one. That's just not good for you on any level whatsoever. Let's see if we got something here for you.
Find the hotel, vacation rental, cabin, castle, or chalet you want on a kayak. Search now.
Introducing Incognito. Tastes like meat, made from plants. What? Afraid you might like it?
Here's the night scene for the movie Jurassic Park. This is how it would come up if I had your product on my screen. Tron Legacy.
Getting that from YouTube.
This Tron Legacy will pop up on my screen. So I wanted to watch a movie. That's how the image would pop up. Batman, Tumblr scene.
Getting that from YouTube.
If you're a big Batman fan, there you go. Contrast levels don't pick up.
Obstruction ahead, obstruction ahead. Damn it, all units divert down on the lower fifth. I repeat, exit down. Lower fifth would be like turkeys on Thanksgiving down there.
There you go. Here's Batman Dark Knight. That's what would happen if I used their technology. Open up my curtain to let my light push in. And I can watch Batman Dark Knight in here with no problem whatsoever. Your screen would wash out because it can't see contrast. And I can do that on my cheap projector. My cheap $180 projector. Didn't even have to spend $4,000. Give you something to think about, people. And Crow. Didn't even have to spend $4,000. It'd have been $3,000. Yeah. Not even $3,000. And that projector right there has I think it's a 2,000 or 3,000 to 1 contrast. Didn't even need a million. Didn't need all those special bells and whistles. Nothing. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the screen. The screen does all the work, not the projector. Without the screen, the projector is useless. So much for spending all that money for a projector. Doesn't even work. Oh, and I forgot the technology is acoustic. Now I'm gonna leave it at that because if you want tonight, I'll take you in on that purple projection screen. Mind you, it's purple. And that screen will produce a better contrast level than your screen. And we can do that in the dark. You don't want to do that one. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to basically, from here, I got things to do, things to take care of. Don't challenge me on ambient light rejection technology. That's my field right there. That's something you don't know anything about. As you can see already, your product doesn't do well. It doesn't do well at all. And I have to spend all the money for an expensive projector, which showed that you're using overpowered projectors, poorly lit environments, in order to cut corners and do these fake demonstrations. And when you do demonstrations like this, there's no way in the world that you're going to allow that much light to push in and do that display. But, you know, if you want, I'll give you a challenge on that. Do the Batman demonstration Tumblr scene. Do it with the windows open, fully lit environment. As a matter of fact, let's turn on my overhead lights because they're quite bright. And I bet you that $4,000 projector you got can't even pull that contrast on your screen because we have it right here. And if the Cinemax, which I guarantee you is lighter than the personal mix, it's going to do even worse because that's your personal mix right there at the top. Oh, my personal mix right there. That's your metallic mix 2.0. Just so you know. Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
How does Caitlyn Jenner feel about Halloween costumes of her Vanity Fair cover?
Let me come close. Outer space screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, that one's pretty nice. Let's give you this one. Let's see what else we got here for you. Yeah, pretty much that's it, Crow. That's all. Ain't much I can tell you because bottom line is you don't listen anyway. So probably by tomorrow you'll have something else you'll probably think of that we've already done already. Been there, done it, tested it already, and you'll act like it's something new that we've never did before. We've done just about everything. So that's why we don't have to feel the need to actually make or develop any more screen paints because we pretty much covered everything. Tested just about everything. For you, on the other hand, like I said, your product can't even get through basic primer. And if your product is no different than the video that you deleted off your YouTube account, then you wouldn't mind actually making that same mixture of that 3 tablespoons of black paint mixed into a quart of white paint and put it against your own product to show that it doesn't match, which you haven't even done yet. Because we were able to make our own paint downstairs in the basement just for displays, for demonstrations, and it matched your product. J and K 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Last person needs to be talking about ambient light rejection technology, how our screens don't pull images up clearly. Are you kidding me? You couldn't even do a star field. You can't pull proper color. None of that. I'm trying to laugh at you, but you're hilarious. You're really hilarious. This is one of the demonstrations you did against our black technology, saying that it couldn't show up. Came up too dark. Well, looks like we have a nice warm day out today. And you may be going outside with the Black Nova after all. It's beautiful. Block their windows up on such a beautiful day. So interesting it is that the technology is supposed to be so dark you can't see it. You really gotta stop doing those fake demonstrations. That's what you gotta stop doing. You embarrass yourself when you do that. 'Cause we can come in and back it up. You know why? We do tons of tests. That's why we can back everything up. You don't. And know, some people say, but the white levels are higher. It's basic common sense that anytime we test against screens that are lighter than ours, they're always going to pull higher white level. It's a black screen. White levels are going to be a little higher. If you're just realizing that, don't buy a projector. You don't need one. But in his concept, not concept, but in his theory that our black technology comes in so dark you can't see the screen. Yeah, this color's not coming out correctly. Maybe you have to calibrate your projector. Maybe that's the reason why your colors aren't coming out correctly, because you may have to calibrate your projector. Interesting fact, I don't. I don't have to calibrate a projector. Why would I even bother wasting time calibrating that thing? You know what that projector is? Look. We're not on any dark scenery where the screen actually has a strong point over the screen because it can pull contrast level. We're just showing up beautiful flowers. That's all we're doing. See? So maybe we had too much light in the environment. That could be it. Too much light. I had people screaming one time when I used to have comments open. They were like, turn the lights out, turn the lights out. So basically you're telling me that in order for you to be, that's the only way you can make it a fair demonstration. So you're telling me that our technology that's pulling an image in a fully lit environment, you're telling me to turn the lights out because that would make the demonstration fair. So basically you just told me that in order for you to be to see your screen properly, you got to sit in the dark. That's what you just told me. You can't do this. Show me one demonstration where you can look outside your window. You ever seen that in a demonstration before with screen paint or projection screens? Guy who's doing the video just turns around and just looks out the window and says, look, isn't it a beautiful day today? I make sure I'm getting everyone's car in the shot. That's why I do that. Isn't it a beautiful day today? I'm just going to look outside my window. Let me know one demonstration you have seen someone do that. Just stare out the window. And then turn around. Oh, look at that right there. I got to go feed my animals too. And show you that. And if you notice, the distance from where my windows sit to where the screen sits at, well, bam. There's nowhere for that screen to escape that window light at all. And then I can back up and I can show you the overhead lights on right now. And the screen's still producing a beautiful image. That's why Crow needs to understand is do not speak about something that you do not understand how it works to begin with. You don't run the tests, you don't do the tests, and a lot of the tests you try to do to compete with ambient light rejection technology are fake, and they are fake demonstrations. But every challenge I give you, you never do. So, you have one. Tomorrow morning when you get up, you can open up those blinds, those bamboo blinds you have in your apartment, and don't bother opening the door, because that's not even going to make any contact to the screen whatsoever. And you do know how the physics of light works, right? I mean, when you open up a door, that physical light is not going to basically come in and turn and directly hit your screen. That's not going to happen. Open up those blinds behind you. Let all that light come in. As a matter of fact, you should be redirecting your screen because you got windows on the side of where your screen's sitting at too, right next to that air conditioner. Yeah, I memorized. It's just very short for me that I can memorize just about everything. And you have to, when I'm studying other people's environments, to see how the screens are reacting, like Screen Innovation when they did that ceiling rejection technology. And the guy sat there and said, my blinds open up behind me. And I started laughing like, no, they're not open. Your blinds are on a slant. That's one of the tricks they use. They take the blinds and they open them up on a slant. And that lets a little bit of light push in. And it gives the illusion there's light pushing into the screen when it's not, because the physical light is actually hitting the blinds that are on a slant and it's going straight downward. It's not going toward the screen. That's why there's no light bursting out around the window light pushing towards the screen. I noticed all that. If we test against certified screens, what chance do you think you have in here? Right, I gave you a challenge. You'll do the star field demonstration because, like I said, I can do bright white colors and all that stuff on here with no problem. You'll do the star field demonstration, and well, you know what? That's all you need to do. You got a peak 2. You got a 2,000,000 to 1 contrast. You're pretty sure you can pull off a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment with plenty of light. With those blinds pulled all the way up. Let's see if you can pull that off. And no pepper lights, please. Oh, I'm gonna start calling it for now on. That's my nickname, Pepper. That's my nickname. I'm gonna start calling it Pepper Lights. When you have lights peppered throughout the environment to give off that illusion. Well, I do not. That was an actual crow that flew over my house. So we can go here. If I wanted to blow your screen out of the water, I could do contrast only. Bright colors, reds, blues, and greens. Someplace I know your screen can't go. Do the nice, bright pastel colors. Stay in your category on where your product is being used. And he can't mind his own business. So we know that's not going to happen. But you keep forgetting I have your product over here. Oh, solar eclipse. You're not picking up nothing in this video. I can tell you right now, nothing. This is a solar eclipse demonstration. You're not going to pick up nothing in here. Let's give you one more. Let me see. Here we go. This should be your last one. I'm done for today. And he's done this same demonstration too, but he did this demonstration in the dark when he did the demonstration. In the pitch black dark is when he did this demonstration. He didn't do it with this much lighting. I remember you did that demonstration in the dark. Now I'm doing the same exact demonstration with your product in a fully lit environment on ambient light projection technology. me see something for a minute. 4K classic cars.
Getting that from YouTube.
Forgot who did that demonstration. Samsung 4K classic cars.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, they did that demonstration. It's another demonstration you did in the dark too. See that? That image would show up so much better on his end if he was using that $4,000 projector and he was sitting in the dark. That image would come up better. But we're not using the $4,000 projector. We're using a $180 projector. We're in a fully lit environment. This is where we play at. I can do the same demonstration in the dark, which I will do on a 5,000 lumen Christie projector on a purple screen, and that screen will still produce a better red level than your screen. Told you. You would see some, for what he's selling and what he's showing off in his demonstrations, you would see some kind of result, better results than this. Much better results. It just shows you at the end of the day, it's this projector doing all the work in that dark environment. That's what it is. Those two hand in hand, the dark environment and that 4K projector. Because like I said, if that wasn't the case and your screens could do the same things our screens can do, well, like I said, pull that Starfield demonstration, you got a 2,000,000:1 contrast level on that thing. Pull a Starfield demonstration in a fully lit environment, display it right on your screen, as dark as our screen. As a matter of fact, you don't even need our screen. Just take a black sheet of paper, stick it in the middle of your screen and match it. Or you can make some more of that fake black paint you've been making. That may work for you too. Well, let's see. You want to play the rest of this? No, we get enough. All right, that's basically about it. Like I said, every once in a while we got to come in and we got to show them how it's done. And I got to get some rest and I got some things I got to take care of Sunday. So get some things taken care of for today. But other than that, is to put him in his place, that's all. He just doesn't learn. He makes the dumbest demonstrations I've ever seen in my entire life, and accusing us of not having screens that can produce images in fully lit environments is all that we do from the beginning. We just did the 21s outside, literally had them outside. One actually sitting in the window, showing off all kinds of interesting demonstrations. And the fact that we do test our products on a 1,000 lumen projector outside before they can get their label. I don't know where he gets this. I don't know what goes on in his head. I don't know. I think he has groundhog syndrome. I think that's what he has. He just wakes up every day and his mind's completely blank, and he just basically thinks that this never even happened. I got an idea here. Let me do this one right here. That's what I think he literally has. Because for anybody who knows my demonstrations, that's all we do is demonstrations in fully lit environments. That's what we do. So to put that level about how we don't know how ambient light rejection works, yeah, your screens don't know how color works, contrast works, or even ambient light rejection technology at all, period. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration or the tutorial or however way you want to call it. Crow, let's see what other dumb theory you come up with so I can debunk that too and embarrass you on YouTube. All right, with that being said, gotta go. And for some people may say, oh, this is very unprofessional. No, this is me protecting and backing up my company's credibility and word on what we do every single day. So this is what you're supposed to do. All right, then. Enjoy, and I have to go. And I'm pretty sure I got the hatred on this one, so I really don't care. At the end of the day, my technology is good, because at the end of the day, oops, made a mistake there. I got to back that up. God's technology is good. See, I can correct myself. God's technology is good. So as I said, at the end of the day, everything we design, and my company, if you go to my website, says powered by God's technology. Everything we develop, everything we have over here is by my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You're going to challenge me. You're going to challenge him too. And in the outcome, you're always going to lose. All right. With that being said, thank you all. And I got to go.